want to make movies like you?
Yes, tell your story. The only reason I'm still doing this, the only reason I'm up here 30 years past my fucking expiration date, is because I bet on me and my story as being interesting. Or, you know, I felt like I'd been to movies my whole life and shit, and, you know, naturally, like, the main characters are generally heroic and have big jobs and shit. I've never seen my world reflected, like, on the big screen. So that's what I went for. You know, if you're a first-time filmmaker, you can look at things that have been successful before you and mimic that. There's a draw to do that because it's worked before. Shit, I'll just do something like that. I find your best chance of success is to live or die by your own material, by telling the audience something they've never heard before. You know, like when I walk into a fucking studio, they don't get excited because they're like, oh, it's fucking Clerk's boy. Or at this point, they're probably like, it's Clerk's old man. You know, I stopped being Clerk's boy a while ago. They've seen everything I could fucking do. They know every variation of a Kevin Smith movie I could make. So they don't get excited when I walk into the room and shit like that. They're like, oh, it's him, he's part of the furniture. They would be excited for you because they dream about you. They don't dream about me. They know what my output is. They dream about the person that's gonna walk in that room and tell them the story they've never heard before that makes them go like, yes, we're fucking making that movie. So the best case of getting your material and your point of view and your statement in front of the people who will then give you money to make things is to, it sounds corny as shit, man, but is to be yourself, is to tell your story. Your story has value, man. Everyone in this room is a content generator. Everyone's lived amazing lives, whether or not you fucking like, you know, climb to the top of a mountain or fucking stop the bank robbery or whatever the fuck. Those are big moments, but everyone has lived very fascinating, enriching fucking lives that you can easily pull stories from all the time. The stories they've never seen told yet are yours. You know, they've seen mine, they ain't seen yours. So I always tell nascent filmmakers or filmmakers who are just starting the journey, tell them who the fuck you are. Never show them what they've seen before. Tell them the story they've never heard before. It doesn't have to be Star Wars. I'm not saying like show them a space opera that's gonna make $1 billion. They're hungry for something original, that's it. And originality generally means marketability as well. And since it's a business, they'll care about that. But I'm telling you, if you walk in those doors and tell them a story they've never heard before, that's what makes you invaluable. The only way you're gonna stand out is to do you. They're waiting to hear your voice. Think about everybody you like, every musician, every filmmaker, every writer, whatever the fuck. You really jive on like what they're fucking saying, who they are. It's not just the movie they make, but it's the individual behind the art. Same difference. Once you start telling your stories, people will understand who you are and they'll want more of it. And they'll come back. Doesn't matter if you're working with the same characters or different characters, because you've given them something they've never had before. You held up a mirror to them. If you could show the audience themselves and make them feel seen while they're in the movie theater, the whole world won't follow you, but enough will follow you that you could work for 30 fucking years without improving your art whatsoever. Story of my fucking life. So tell your fucking story, man. Your voice is your currency. Your voice is, you know, how you see the world, your perspective. That's how you write comes through your voice, the stories that you want to tell. The way you take in the world and then spit it back for everybody else, that's your voice. That's your currency, man. That spends as much as fucking money spends in the right fucking world. So spend it. Like, the thing about your voice is it'll never go away. Like, you know, if you're young now, enjoy it, because one day you'll be fucking old and you're gonna die. If you're beautiful now, fucking enjoy it, because looks fucking fade. If you're rich now, fucking invest wisely, because money goes away. But your voice, your perspective, that never goes away. You will always have your perspective, and it won't get dull over time. It'll only get sharper and sharper. That's valuable as fuck. Show them who the fuck you are before you leave this world. Tell them your stories, tell them your perspective. That's how you make the connection. The nearest, I can't guarantee you it'll happen, But here's what I can guarantee you. If you try to make a movie like somebody else's fucking movie and then nothing happens to it, who have you made happy? Nobody, not even yourself. There's a way to guarantee that you can make one audience member satisfied as fuck, because that's what you're going for at the end of the day. We dream about satisfying the audience. You can't. Like, you know, the audience is wide and diverse, and so you'll never get everybody. You can't guarantee you'll entertain a single fucking person unless you guarantee that you've entertained yourself. Make the fucking thing for you. Joyous that you get to express yourself and put it the fuck out there. If it leads to you doing it again, oh, happy day and shit. But really, the gift is not the money, it's not the attention. It's just being able to express yourself. And when you express yourself, there are people out there who can't do that for themselves. They're not artistic, they'll never think about telling a story and shit. When they see you do it, they'll thrill because you're doing something that they would like to do. I've met so many people over 30 years who've been like, I love what you do because that's the way I would do it if I were you. It's the highest fucking compliment you can receive from a fucking person. So go out there, man, and fucking not just doing it for yourself where you're expressing these things nobody's ever expressed before for yourself. You're expressing it for a bunch of people who can't say that themselves, and you're gonna say it and encapsulate a perfect sentiment that's gonna sum up what their lives would mean to them, and they'll follow you forever. Do you. Don't do anybody else but you. They're waiting for you.
Thank you, Kevin. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, next up, what's your name? What